The first ever World Championship fight to be staged in Ghana. The scene, Accra, capital of the nation, where the boxing event of 1964 is scheduled to take place. On the city outskirts in Burma Camp, the challenger for the world featherweight title, Ghanaian and Commonwealth featherweight champion Floyd Robertson, is training for the big fight. This is Floyd's moment of a lifetime, the opportunity to win one of boxing's most coveted titles and bring honor not only to himself, but to all his fellow Ghanaians who value the world's most manly sport, boxing. To hear from Floyd himself, we join Radio Ghana sports correspondent Joe Latte.
What are your plans exactly for this fight with Sugar Ramos?
Well, in fact, I have no plans.
At all?
No. I'm just going to meet him, fight him. The better man wins.
Now, there's some talk about weight difficulty. Do you think you're going to have any weight difficulty in this fight?
Not at all.
You're not going to?
No.
I'd like to ask if you have a message for the numerous fans in Ghana who are supporting you. In fact, the whole of Ghana will be supporting you for this fight.
The only thing I can tell them is they shouldn't be scared of this boy's reputation of being a killer. And on that night, I'm going into the ring as a true African.
On behalf of everybody in Ghana, I say all the best, and may the better man win.
Scene, the Ambassador Hotel for stage one of the big fight, the signing of the contracts. Jack Solomons, the world-famous London boxing promoter, who in conjunction with the Ghana Boxing Authority will co-promote the contest, speaks first. Solomons is followed by Robertson, who thanks officialdom for offering him a crack at the world title. "Unless I fall dead, I will be champion of the world," are Floyd's own fighting words. Before clinching the deal, Mr. Ohini Jan, director of Ghana Sports, Jack Solomons and other members of the Boxing Authority share a toast to mark this memorable moment. The first world title contract to be signed in Ghana. A proud moment indeed for Floyd's manager, Sam Doherty. Jack Solomon signs on behalf of the title holder, Sugar Ramos, who has yet to arrive from Cuba. And now the final touch as Floyd Robertson adds his signature to the historic contract. The bond is sealed, and from now on, the whole machinery that goes to stage and make a world championship fight will begin to move into action. And we, the audience, are about to witness the making of a champion. Scene, the streets of Accra, typical of streets throughout the land as posters announcing the big event go up on walls and boards. Come one, come all, the Accra Sports Stadium for the boxing thrill of a lifetime. As always, with a big event like this, there's an early rush for tickets, and as always, there's criticism of the prices. Who'll pay 10 guineas for a ringside seat, says the critic. I will, says the boxing fan, and judging from the way tickets begin to sell, regardless of the price, the fans outnumber the critics. Boxing is the sport of blood and guts, and these days, that costs money. From the posters to the public, and soon everyone is discussing the outcome of the battle. In local bars, the has-beens and will-bees of Ghana boxing feverishly argue and debate the result. Wherever you go, be it Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi or Tamale, the fans are talking about Ramos and Robertson, with the odds quite naturally on the local boy. But in sharp contrast to the excitement of the outside world, the champ himself takes a break from his training program to spend a few warm and welcome moments with his wife and family at home. Here, Floyd faces his biggest challenge, feeding his newly born baby, Beatrice, while his wife looks on with motherly amusement. Yes, believe it or not, Beatrice and the bottle have beaten the champ. He may conquer his opponents in the ring, but it's a TKO for Floyd on the Milky Way. Accra International Airport, and in the dark of night, the arrival from Mexico of the world featherweight champion, Sugar Ramos. Hundreds of enthusiastic fans are there to give the pin-up boy of Cuban boxing a rousing welcome. And there he is, the Latin bomber setting foot on Ghanaian soil for the first time, while admirers and friends rush forward to greet the world champ. A Latin kiss for a lucky young pioneer who presents Sugar with a bouquet of flowers and handshakes and waves from his many smiling supporters. A glittering welcome for a glittering boxer who in 6.5 years of professional boxing still remains unbeaten. A tough, ruthless master of his sport, but as a man, utterly charming. In an open car past cheering hundreds, he leaves for his hotel, while the word goes out to one and all, Sugar has arrived. But Senor Ramos is not a man to waste time. Up early in the morning, he begins training in the sports hall of the Accra Stadium, which is put at his disposal as a training camp. Just shadows for now, but the real thing will soon come along. Just the same, it's a chance for spectators to size up that favorite. Progresses, so does the tempo of the training hours. A sparring session for Ramos with Canolo Mora, a leading Mexican featherweight. Both boxers are fighting on the same bill and therefore well protected from any minor injuries the session may produce. From one camp to another as Robertson prepares for a sparring workout, aided by his local manager, Mr. Adefio. Looking on, Roy Ankra, Ghana's national boxing coach. Floyd's sparring partner on this occasion is the well-known Ghanaian boxer, Oblite Kome. Advice is always useful, and trainer Adefio is making sure his boy gets nothing but the best. Keep that guard up, watch the footwork, don't do this and don't do that. The do's and don'ts that go into the making of a champion. And from that workout, we, like the spectators, get a hint of things to come. But what follows right now is a celebrity sports luncheon given at the Ambassador Hotel in honor of the two boxers. Sugar Ramos, for one, is more engrossed in his newspaper than the food being served, which isn't unusual since the lad has to watch his weight. This is the first time the two boxers have met on a social occasion, and Jack Solomons is making sure the moment is hilarious. He even takes time off from telling jokes to make a speech. Speaking in Spanish, Sugar thanks his host for the kindness and generosity shown to him during his stay in Ghana, and fightingly assures his critics that he'll retain the title. Mr. Solomons then calls on Robertson to reply, and he in turn pays tribute to the Ghana Boxing Authority for making the contest possible. One thing about good boxers, they have no hard feelings before or after a fight. In the spirit of true sport, defender and challenger reach out and shake each other's hands. Let battle commence. The city of Accra, the date, the 9th of May 1964, the morning of the big fight. And from near and far, the fans pour into the capital. Lorries and buses from the villages, towns and cities throughout Ghana bring in their customers by their hundreds. This is the fight of the year, and if you're a boxing enthusiast, the Accra Sports Stadium is the end of the road. And on this particular morning, all roads lead to the stadium. For those who can afford it, it's a more comfortable and faster journey by Ghana Airways. Into Accra within an hour from Kumasi or Takoradi. And it's easy to spot Floyd supporters by their banner shirts, worn and made especially for this occasion.
Ghana is motherland on the world book map. Hear him again. That's Floyd Robertson.
Ghana Railways play their part as boxing specials pull into Accra terminus. This is a day to remember, as the entire city goes wild with excitement, and the only worthwhile topic of conversation is boxing. Tickets for the big fight are selling fast, and for many of the fans, it's an early rush to the Accra Stadium and that long wait for the big moment. And that big moment is nearly here as both boxers go through the last formality, weighing in for the final checkup. It's Floyd on the scales first and checking in at a healthy 126 pounds. Age 25, height 5'6", with a reach of 24 inches. Now the turn of Sugar Ramos, also reading 126 pounds. Age 22, height 5'4½", reach 28 inches. The unbeaten featherweight champion of the world. For the world press and photographers attending the fight, another handshake between champ and challenger. And so to the great moment itself, as a record crowd of 45,000 spectators clap and cheer, jump and shout as Floyd Robertson, accompanied by his chief seconds, enters the packed arena of the Accra Sports Stadium. A hectic time for the police, who have to hold back well-wishers and back-patters. Sitting proudly at the ringside, the two architects of the great night, Ohini Jan and Jack Solomons. Another roar, more hand claps and cheers as Sugar Ramos makes his way to the ring. Ramos the Great, the boxer who's fought 47 professional bouts, of which he has won 33 inside the distance, 11 on points, and 3 draws. Can he retain his title? That's the question, and soon we'll have the answer. With both boxers in their corners, their managers perform the ritual of choosing gloves, which are placed in the center of the ring. Minute by minute, the tension grows. The judges take their place. The cameramen and press boys are in position. Everything is set for the big fight as the boxers are helped on with their gloves. Covering the fight for his London newspaper, Peter Wilson, the international sports writer, with Radio Ghana's reporter nearby. A final word from world-renowned British referee Jack Hart, a referee with a reputation for clear judgment. And now, the World Featherweight title contest. Round 1, and cautiously Ramos and Robertson open the bout by sizing each other up. Neither boxer is in a hurry. There's 15 3-minute rounds to face, and the first problem to overcome is getting to know your opponent. Both are waiting for the right moment, and then Ramos finds it and opens up with a sudden attack. Robertson is prepared and defends well, but not before Sugar scores a few quick points. Having put Floyd on the defensive, Sugar keeps up the pressure till the bell goes for the end of the round. Not an exciting opener, but one full of promise. Into the second, and again, as in round one, the boys take their time before any punches are pulled. Robertson's secret weapon is a powerful left jab, which he normally holds back till the decisive moment. And this obviously isn't that moment. Ramos is a fighter who keeps perpetually on the move and scores heavily at close quarters. Floyd knows this and wisely keeps out of range. Ramos to the attack again, sending home some solid punches to Robertson's body and keeping Ghana's hope clearly on the defensive. It looks as if Floyd's holding back in reserve. Perhaps he is, but Sugar is scoring those sweet little points. Weaving and whirling round the ring, Robertson stays clear of the champ's quick attacks. And it's a slow end to round two as many spectators grow slightly impatient. But this is a fight that has the signs of enduring the whole 15 grueling rounds. In the third round, the pace begins to liven up, with both boxers ruthlessly determined to succeed, exchanging heavy punches. Referee Hart cautions Ramos for punching low, but by all signs it was an accident. Just the same, Robertson is keeping his distance and playing hard to get. Ramos is taking every advantage he can find and keeps those punches constantly accurate on Floyd's body and head. The Ghana lad is taking some punishment and still waiting for the moment to open up his attack. By cleverly ducking, dodging, and bobbing, Floyd is narrowly escaping a number of KO blows from Ramos. And at the bell announcing the end of the third round, it's clear to all that Ramos is certainly getting the better of the fight. And in the fourth, it's Sugar again as he comes out punching and attacking, connecting solidly on Robertson's face. But enough is enough, and with deadly earnestness, Floyd begins to open up and fights back at last. A courageous round for Robertson, who was able to check the Cuban onslaught, giving the champ second thoughts as he cools off in his corner. Sugar Ramos is unquestionably one of the world's toughest boxers. He can give and he can take, and in round 5 he's determined to give. Opening up dramatically, Floyd flays into his opponent but fails to knock him off his feet. Ramos is slightly stunned and Robertson comes in again with a brilliant attack to head and body. This is the moment the fans have been waiting for. Once again, Ramos punches low and the referee jumps in with a strong caution. This isn't typical of Ramos, who has a reputation for fighting clean. Nevertheless, those below the belt punches can hurt. And it's a blessing when the bell goes. In his corner, Sugar's manager gives his boy encouragement. Just a note here, the manager, Angelo Dundee, also trained world champion Cassius Clay. And it's Ramos once more who takes the lead and opens up round 6. A beautiful boxer who plunges into the attack every time. However, Floyd fares much better in the 6th and wisely attempts to stay out of range. A cunning maneuver which is sapping Sugar's stamina. Many of the punches the boys are throwing are wild, which is saying something for their cobra-like alertness. And at the end of round 6, despite some brave moments from Robertson, it's obviously Ramos ahead on points. For many of the spectators who are rooting for the local hero, it's a nagging fact. But this is boxing, and anything can happen. And something does happen in the 7th. It's Robertson who comes out punching with some deadly left jabs to Sugar's head. But that's a Cuban head, and it's tough. Ramos is fighting back gamely, but it's Floyd who's taking control of the round. Both boys are giving a superb display of A1 boxing, which in turn is giving the customers more than their money's worth. Never too late to come back in 8, and Sugar connects a beautiful right hook on Floyd's head. A stunning blow, only to be followed by some more. It's a cruel, bloody battle, with champion and challenger both taking terrific punishment. Action-packed all the way, with both boys keeping the pressure up to boiling point. Punch and pounce, and it's Ramos as usual who does the pouncing first, attacking with the aggressiveness and hunger of a man-eater. Round 8 showed that Ramos is tiring, something Robertson has been working on throughout the battle. And at the end of that round, it's an even one, with Ramos perhaps just slightly ahead. Eight down, 7 to go, and in round 9 it's Robertson again the aggressor. Time and again he slams in some heavy blows on Ramos's head, but the Cuban stands his ground and fights back gallantly. Though tired, Ramos is determined to check Floyd's attacks and with super strength fights back. Halfway through the round he regains control and puts Floyd on the defense once more. Without a doubt, this is one of the toughest battles ever seen in the Accra Sports Stadium, with Ramos slightly ahead on points. Despite the fiery encouragement of his supporters, Floyd is still on the defense. There's the bell, and a well-earned break for the boys as they rest up in their corners. Ramos's face is showing signs of swelling. Nothing broken, nothing cut, so it's still handsomely intact. The last 6 rounds and most decisive in this battle. Both boys come out punching toughly, giving a magnificent display of their powerful profession. It's a ding-dong contest with each boxer taking control at various times. One moment it's Ramos, the next Robertson. As they say, 2 heads are better than 1. One, two, three, and Ramos is on target, but Floyd manages to smother him and get out of a tight spot. Into 11, and Ramos is the first to launch an attack, connecting swiftly with rights and lefts to Robertson's body and face. Halfway through the round and the tables switch again. Now it's Floyd's turn to dominate and return some of the punishment he's been receiving from the Cuban. Yes, it's Robertson all the way, and Ramos is visibly tired, which keeps him on the defensive. The arena roars with encouragement for Robertson as he slays into his opponent. And now it's Robertson's turn to show us why he's proclaimed as one of West Africa's top fighters. Backed by that famous stamina, he comes into the 12th, bubbling with energy and busting to go. Fiercely, Robertson rams into Ramos, driving him onto the ropes, something that hasn't happened to the champ in many a fight. It's Floyd in great form. He has Sugar defenseless and cornered. Blow after blow rains down on the Cuban, and he's very puzzled by the Ghanaian's unexpected comeback. And it's only the bell which saves Ramos from a bitter end. Round 13, unlucky for some, but who? The minute break has given Ramos time to regain his senses, and he's still standing firm. This man is as tough as a rock, and Robertson knows it. Both are tired and occasionally leaving their guard down. And then it happens. A terrific right hook catches Ramos full in the face and sends him crashing to the canvas. The champ is down for the first time in his career. And there's the bell. Ramos is saved from certain defeat by the bell. The crowd go delirious with excitement. And now let's see that fantastic scene all over again in slow motion. There's the powerful right from Robertson. Down goes Ramos, stunned into disbelief as he hits the canvas. Saved only by the bell, which is later to cause great controversy, as some say it was rung before the allotted time of 3 minutes by an excited timekeeper. Two rounds to go, and at this stage it's obvious to all that Robertson has complete control. But can he make up for the points lost in the earlier rounds? The pace is brutal, and referee Hart warns Ramos for holding. The champ's face is cruelly bruised and swollen almost out of shape. Though he fights back well, the Cuban is cornered and receiving a terrible beating from Robertson. Once more, Jack Hart intervenes. Tired and weary, Ramos throws a heavy punch, misses and slips to the canvas, but he's up again like a flash. Never letting up for a second, Floyd seizes the chance and puts Sugar back on the ropes. But the Cuban is not a man to accept defeat without a fight, and fight back he does with brilliant bravery. With 1 round to go, Ramos gets his injured face attended to by his worried seconds. This night, he's certainly taken what can only be described as horrible punishment. The last round, and both boxers put every ounce of energy they can muster into it. It's cruel, tough, ruthless, but fascinating. Just watch this for sheer willpower. Referee Hart cautions the Cuban, this time for kidney punching. He's angry, wild, and aiming to retain his title regardless of the cost. And now watch this. A low punch that misses the referee's eyes, but not our cameras. A painful blow to Robertson that he takes like a champion. The final bell, and now comes the important decision. Who will be the next featherweight champion of the world, Sugar Ramos or Floyd Robertson? By all counts, it looks like a certain victory for Robertson, but the judges have reached a verdict that is to cause one of boxing's biggest controversies in years. According to them, Ramos is the winner, retaining the title, an unpopular decision and contrary to referee Jack Hart, who considers Robertson the true victor. For Floyd, this is a bitter blow. But like a true sportsman, he accepts defeat as the officials of the Ghana Boxing Authority reverse the verdict, declaring him the champion. But according to the rule book, the judge's verdict cannot be altered, and Ramos is almost certain to be recognized as world champion. But regardless of the final outcome of this historic battle, one fact clearly emerges, that Floyd Robertson is one of the world's finest boxers. No matter what the others may say, to Ghana he is the featherweight champion of the world.